Boys, we might be going to war with Venezuela. I mean, we might be bombing Venezuela, and then they may be arbitrarily changing hands really quickly. Because let's be honest, if the United States president wants your ass dead, it doesn't really matter who's in charge. I know that we have the Tangerine Warlord right now, but if anyone else was in fucking charge, it wouldn't really matter what you think or feel. If they want you to change hands, well, guess what you're going to probably be doing?
Has now entered the Caribbean Sea. The U.S. Navy making that announcement a short time ago. The USS Gerald Ford is set to join major military exercises that are scheduled to begin today off the coast of Venezuela. The U.S. has already put more than a dozen
warships. To give you an idea why this is happening, the drug boats that Trump has been completely brutalizing or bombing that have been transporting fentanyl to the American border are supposedly coming from Venezuela. So there's a good chance we're probably going to end up bombing the shit out of Venezuela.
And 15,000 troops in the region as tensions with Venezuela continue to rise. We've got full coverage for you. CNN senior reporter.
This isn't going to be a war. This is going to be a fucking genocide if this is the case. Like, you've got a bunch of paramilitary militia that think that they can go one-to-one with the U.S. military and the U.S. Navy. They're going to lose. It's going to be terrible for them.
Is in Florida, where the president is spending the weekend. We're hearing from the Secretary of the Army today. What is he saying about Venezuela?
Well, Frederica, there have been weeks of threats from President Trump as the U.S. has been amassing resources in the region. And the president's administration...
Bro, like, how many resources are in the area around Venezuela? Like, bro, just do yourself a favor. Just change hands. You'll spare so many people's lives if you just do that. You're obviously not running the country the way you should be, because you've got the entire country being ran by drug traders and cartel and small militia. Just change hands. And if there's anybody in the government, their government, that's being blackmailed, then they need to remove those people from power and kill the blackmailers. That's how you solve that problem. A total systematic annihilation of the threat. Because if you don't, the President of the United States most definitely will.
Has launched at least 20 strikes on alleged drug trafficking vessels in the Caribbean since September. President Trump himself has said that he has authorized the CIA to operate in Venezuela. And
there is a good chance that once we're done with Venezuela, Trump is probably going to be doing the same thing with Mexico. It's not out of the question. He's got this is only his first year in office, and the content president has already pretty much waged war on Venezuela and probably going to take on Mexico next. Trust me, like, I've already had that in the back of the think tank. Don't worry about it.
Understand, according to reporting from our sources, that the president has been briefed a number of times in recent days, at least 3 times last week.
Also, there's a good chance that either today, tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow, they will be voting on the Epstein files again. So we might actually be seeing the full Epstein files within this week.
On a range of options to move forward. That includes the possibility of airstrikes on military or government facilities in Venezuela.
That's going to be crazy if that happens.
Because that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be ground troops. It's going to be like airstrikes. Like, why waste American lives on something as foolish as this? Just strike them from the air. They don't have the Air Force like we do. We've got the most advanced military in the world because of our economy. Like, the only reason why we're even wheeling and dealing with Putin is because he's got nukes. Like, just submit to the US, bro. Like, seriously, if you got a problem and you know you got a problem and you're defending these cartel people, you shouldn't be running. You shouldn't. Because from what I understand is that the Venezuelan government gets their political power because the militia and the cartel fund their entire campaign, and then they become in political power, and then once that happens, they protected the cartel and the small militia, just like what Mexico's doing right now.
As well as drug trafficking routes, as well as what could be a more direct attempt.
I don't think they should do that. I think they should just figure out who the cartel members are and who the leaders in the government are, just blow them up. Like, there's no reason to drag the military into this. Because, like, we're going to have relations with Venezuela after this. So, like, the least amount of conflict that you can have, the better. Because it lowers the probability that you're going to have problems with the country in the future.
We won't have problems with them even if we did do a full-scale invasion. You know why? Because we'd probably completely take the goddamn country over. Like, Venezuela is just a fucking... It's a drop in the bucket compared to the United States military. Like I said, if the president wants you dead, as long as you don't have nukes, you're probably going to die. We have the most advanced military in the world. There is technology that they own that we will never hear about. Like, there are probably guns that go based off of, like, no ammunition, like, energy cartridges that we're not even aware of yet. There's just no way. I'm sorry, dude.
Like, that's it. That's my advice, right? Like, it's better to blow up a few guys than a bunch of them. Especially whenever the bunch of the guys are just following orders. They're just doing what they're told, right? It's the few guys who are the ones that are really the ones that are, making decisions.
Oust the country's president, Nicolas Maduro. The president told reporters Friday that he'd made up his mind, sort of, but declined to provide specifics. Now, experts have described this military buildup in the region as significant. As you mentioned, we have learned that the USS Gerald R. Ford, that is the nation's largest aircraft carrier, has arrived in the Caribbean Sea as of today. Separately, there are roughly 15,000 military personnel on the ground.
Oh my God.
F-35 fighter jets,
Holy
as well
shit.
as more than a dozen warships in the region. And we heard from Army Secretary Dan Driscoll a short while ago about the plans. Listen.
I think that the President and Secretary of War have spent a lot of time thinking about what is the best thing they can do for the American people. And I can speak from the Army's perspective, which is we have a lot of training in that part of the world. We're reactivating our jungle school in Panama. We would be ready to act on whatever the President and Secretary of War needed.
But no orders beyond these exercises at this point.
We don't talk about those kinds of things.
Well,
but,
what do you think? He's just going to go and explore? Like, I mean, why do you even ask them? Why you even ask this? Like, so what's the...
So when are you going to attack Venezuela? Do you know what kind of missiles you're going to use?
Military's plan for dealing with this country? What are they going to do?
Fucking bunch of idiots, man.
Now, I want to get into the why here. Of course, officially, the Trump administration is going after drug trafficking operations in Venezuela, but regime change could be a side effect of that.
No, he's cooked. Like, that guy is cooked. I'm sorry. It's so obvious he's cooked.
Right?
And efforts to oust Maduro have proven elusive to so many administrations, including the president's first term.
Fuck that. We have no intel on the cartel's main headquarters. An excuse for war is crazy. Might as well say they have weapons of mass destruction. If we don't have intel on where the cartels are, I want my money back from the military.
Amen. You mean to tell me that you have all this fucking money and you have no intel on the locations of these people? I want my money back too. Shit.
I want it back. If we can't figure out some rinky-dink South American paramilitary organization and where they're at after $1 trillion, I want my money back.
Fucking A-right. Like, come on, they're not even full military. They're fucking militia. They have no military. It's all paramilitary.
Yeah, I want a refund. Yeah, I want my Doge dividend for the $1 trillion in my pocket.
If Trump ousted Maduro, that could allow him to claim some major wins. Of course, getting a strong man out and potentially an elected leader in, the possibility of enhanced collaboration on drug trafficking and migration flows, as well as potential deals in oil. Of course, all of this carries very high risks, and that is something that the president is now weighing, Frederica.
Okay. Betsy Klein.
Can you classify fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction? I mean, it's clearly not. I mean, it's really bad bad, but it's not a weapon of mass destruction. I think it's
let
crazy.
us know more as you learn it.
Yeah.
With me now is global affairs analyst Kim Dozier. Welcome, good to see you. So taking all of those alleged drug boats out and now doing these military exercises in the region. Is this a prelude for something more in terms of U.S. military involvement in or on Venezuela?
What the hell do you think, lady? Come on. Fucking. First it was, so when you guys plan on attacking? What do you guys plan on using? And now it's this? Like, come on. What do you think? No, we just put the whole goddamn warship over there so it can sit there and look pretty. What the fuck? Holy fuck, these are the people running the media? Bro, we're cooked. We're done. That's all I can say. We're fucked, man. Bro, CNN needs to get its shit together.
It certainly
It's pretty
looks
obvious.
like that. What you see is a collection of forces, the kind that you would put together if you're going to do a series of airstrikes and strikes from those naval vessels on various targets across Venezuela. Most likely military targets, police targets, anything that would get in the way of Maduro being knocked out of power and possibly the opposition leader taking power.
Well, just imagine how big that fucking American flag is up there. Like, that fucking flag's gotta be as big as this right here. This is huge. This is a massive ship, dude. Like, that flag has to be at least, what, like, it'd be like 17 feet long. So that's almost as big as a basketball court. It's a fucking huge flag.
That would challenge a successor's power. Also, possibly, they could just go after the drug cartels and various targets like that.
That's what they should do. They should just go after them. Like, I mean, that's the easy thing. That's what I would say.
Give Trump a little bit more maneuverability.
So, like, what's crazy to me is whenever we would put the flag up in the morning and take it down, we were told that, like, we would get our ass chewed out if that flag hit the ground, bro. I kid you not. We would get our ass chewed the fuck out. Like, it was bad. So, like, how the fuck do you even fold a flag like that if it's not allowed to hit the ground? How's that even possible?
Because then he wouldn't be locked into a confrontation with Maduro.
Maybe that's just a firefighter thing? I don't know.
So if the U.S. were, if the ambition was to take out Maduro, that would mean that a U.S., whether it be a political or military planning, would know who the successor might be. Is the U.S. that far along?
Hopefully somebody who doesn't have one hand in their fucking, in a pile of drugs and the other up their ass. Hopefully. That's what you would hope, right?
This kind of planning?
If they're not, I want my money back. I say it again. If they're not on top of this, proactive, I want my money back. Like, you really, like, you really didn't think this out? It's embarrassing.
I think what we'll be able to tell what their goal is by what they choose to target. Now, they could just be putting the pressure on the Maduro regime with this huge show of force to try to get the various elements of the military to consider taking him out or replacing him. Maduro has already had to put down...
It's better if they do it themselves.
I was just about to say the best thing that he could do is step out of power and let somebody else take it. Because I'm going to tell you right now is that if you don't have any power, you're in a good position to not die. Because they're going to do the same thing that they did, I think it was in Israel, where they bombed that apartment and let the little fucking pinhole in that bitch and killed like 7 leaders or something like that. It was crazy. The best thing that he could do is step out of power and just walk away. Because that's what I'd be doing right there. I'd be like, nope, I'm out. Peace. Nuh-uh. I ain't dying for this.
Coups during
Why don't they just bomb Maduro's house? Probably because they don't want to do that yet. I mean, like, I think that would Trump do that? Yeah, 100% he'd do that. Absolutely.
Well, he would do it, but he's going to give this guy more than enough time to determine what he's going to do. The thing is that he keeps wanting to die on this hill, but hopefully it stays metaphorical and not literal, because he will die.
Not even question. He would do that and then talk shit about how he was dying, right? He would do that, no problem. But I don't think that's really what's going to happen.
time in office. The military is riddled with
It's a war
double
crime?
agent.
It's a war crime? According to who?
Also, if I'm not mistaken, they killed any other political opponent that would be taking that position. So I think that's also another reason why Trump is doing this. If I'm not mistaken.
Somebody that can't hold us accountable. That's who.
From Cuba who are looking for just such coups in the planning. But it is also what you do to try to show force that would do something like the U.S. has done in Iran or in Yemen, a series of strikes that do a lot of damage but don't put U.S. troops on the ground in harm's way.
Exactly.
What is Venezuela's
gonna happen.
military equipped?
That's exactly what's going to happen. 100%.